Now, our next case is proving very hard to crack, the murder of 13-year-old Milly Dowler. Over the past few weeks, there's been a lot of speculation in the media about one man who might have killed her. Police, though, believe there is every possibility that more than one person was involved.
Just take us back a little bit. You know, you met him when you were only 24, is that right?
I had met him like previously when we used to go to a different club.
Right.
But actually had re-met him when I was around that age.
So you started a relationship.
Yeah.
What was he like?
To start off with, he was an absolute angel. You couldn't have asked for a nicer person. You know, always bought you flowers, always, you know, really nice, took you to nice places.
He had a bit of a reputation though as a bad boy.
Oh yeah.
And a womanizer, didn't he?
Big time.
Did he worked at a nightclub, didn't he? Yes.
But
yeah, he was a doorman.
There was nothing there that made you think, oh no.
No, not really. I mean, like if you look at the pictures of him now to when I was with him, he doesn't even look like the same person. He was actually quite a good-looking man in them days.
Yeah. But so what changed then? When did you first start noticing the changes in him?
Probably about 3 months after I started seeing him. I can't even remember what the argument was about, something trivial, and he slapped me. And you actually, when you first get the first slap, you think, you know, I know that's not happening, you've got to go. But they, you know, how sorry he is, and he didn't mean it, and he'd never felt this way.
Sorry to interrupt, but you were pregnant already at this time, weren't you? At this point,
I'd fallen pregnant almost straight away. But, and so, yeah, you actually do believe them when they say that, you know, they're really sorry, and you think, you know, it will never happen again. And then when it does happen again, you're so involved, and you've already become part of that puzzle in the bubble. You can't. There's
and
no.
You've got
there
a
is
baby
no,
on the way, and I believe that he had children, previous children, and he was a good father.
He was a very good dad. Very good dad. Yeah, that's the sad part.
Did the post-mortem tell you anything about how Milly had died?
It didn't tell us how she died, but we knew that she didn't have any of her clothing and that she had been laid on top of the ground. She hadn't been buried. So we knew it wasn't a natural death.
Her remains were discovered in woodland 25 miles from where she disappeared. Milly's sister Gemma and her parents Bob and Sally are with us. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us. Her remains were discovered in woodland 25 miles from where she disappeared. Milly's sister Gemma and her parents Bob and Sally are with us. Thanks very much for taking the time to join us.
Right, so what you're talking about here is something that happened 16 years ago. Now, my recollection of something that happened 16 years ago is pretty slim, frankly. Now,
Greg, you know my job, mate. Come on, man. Everyone's protecting Kellaway because of the link, between Conrad and Mazza. Come on, man.
No. I couldn't care a flying fuck about Conrad and
Well, I do, because they're very detrimental to my case, and even though you may not, all of these people are all part and parcel of this case, and don't forget, Greg, there's no limitation on criminal, right? There's no limitation on criminal.
You were targeted, right?
I was targeted. I've been targeted, and it goes on way before fucking 2002, and we're talking all the way back with Daniela. But on paper, what I've got where it starts is February 1997, because the News of the World were the first to print that I wasn't well and I was having a breakdown in 1997, right? And now today, they don't want to recognise that illness in the court, and they're trying to call limitation, and they're trying to stop all of this from 2002. Saying to me, I've got 6 years to bring a claim. Personally, I don't care about their claim. I'd rather go down the criminal route.
Who is representing you? I mean, legally?
No one at the minute, because Murdoch's taking care of that, and it's He's showing me his power, yeah? The old bill, Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard are covering up Mulcair's notes. Why the fuck are they doing that if they're not in his pocket? They're in his pocket, everyone is, and he's been showing me that. I mean, you've even got fucking Hacked Off paying you and Glenn. And really, that's outrageous, because you lot were supposed to be the enemy, right? And now you've got Hacked Off with their fake fucking campaign paying ex-News of the World journalists to work with them. I mean, that's not right. Peter Jukes has been round here, seen all the evidence. He's done nothing, although I've got him on tape saying, I've never seen anything like it. You may have the thing here. That's interesting that you know for definite that Conrad Brown was like that with
He only worked for Mazza. Which makes me think that Kemal, this guy, I'm sure I've seen in a Mazza file. I've got all the paperwork of Mazza. I've got all the criminal charges on it, the criminal investigation. I shouldn't tell you that. So I shouldn't tell you how I got it. This is 2002 and 2005. So I could search through that and see if this Kemal guy's there. But Conrad Brown only worked for Mazza. I have no record of him working for anybody else. Then you're placing in date Conrad Brown and Mulcair together. Yeah. Mazza is desperate to keep away from Mulcair. Now you've got them working so close together. You may have in
trouble, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you may have the thing. And Mazza's much more of a threat to Murdoch, by the way, than any Mulcair. Mazza was close to the book's personal friend Murdoch. Mazza would tilt to James Murdoch. Wow. They didn't interact. Brooks never met Mulcair, which he might have seen in passing, but he was out. He was deniable. Mazza's not deniable.
Right.
He's dangerous to them. That's why, you know that Panorama documentary about him. Do you see that?
Yeah.
They managed to stop it, unprecedented. Kingsley Napoli, Brooks' lawyers, managed to stop it twice with the Attorney General, and that never happened to them. That's how dangerous Mazza is to them. And you see, you're moving into that zone. You've got both Mulcair and potentially, I'm not promising anything, but from what I've never seen evidence putting those two together. Right. So that to me is for somebody who wants to, somebody want to go for Murdoch or prove the whole conspiracy within East International.
Tying them two together is
it's very significant.
No one has ever proved a link between Mulcair, right, and Mazza, and I can do that through Conrad Brown. I've got his police witness statement, and all of them, Steen, all of them.
There was no link between Mazza and Mulcair.
Well, there was, because, and I'll tell you why, because, let me explain to you why. You got Robert Kellaway, right, the geezer you sent to Chinkford. He's transcribing all of his illegal recordings. I mean, if we only had that would be enough. What's he doing recording my private telephone conversations? Who does he think he is? He didn't have a warrant from the Home Office, Greg. Right, these people have acted illegally, and I've got them bank of rights. And I plan to go forward on it. I'm not fucking about, man. I'm the one that got wronged here. You remember me, don't you, Greg?
Well,
yeah, you remember me. I still get played every year at Christmas. I've done nothing wrong to no one. I've never sold a story on anyone. And at that time in 2002, I was trying to see my kid. And yous lot got involved and set me up, sided with Natasha. She's been paid. Right? Now, I know that Surrey old Bill, right, who gave Neville Fellbeck Milly Dowler's number, Surrey old Bill around the corner from my ex-wife and their family, Reg Carnegie, who's a Freemason, right, and he kept in the background on that. Now, Surrey old Bill gave Fellbeck Milly's number on the day she went missing. I've had that out of Glenn. He's been in my house and admitted it.
No, Brian, they didn't.
Well, why is he saying that then, if that's not true? Because it goes against the official story that they've put out and makes everyone look like a liar, Greg.
Me ranting Reagan and calling him out, he just go, no. He had Milly Dowler's number from the day she went missing up to the 12th or the 10th, up to the 10th until he instructed me. What did he do? What did he do in them days? 2.5 weeks before he gave me a number, what did he do? He was a registered police informant, right, Agent George, alright?
Is that what he called him, yeah?
Alright, listen, alright, he had the number. So what do you reckon he would have done? If he's had a number, he's gone out to pop it himself and they trophy Fellbeck, alright? Put size 16s all over it, then I get it on the 10th. Hello Glenn, I've just got the number from the police account. On the 10th.
He got Dowler's number from the police?
Yeah. But he told everybody, and this is on record, that he got it from School children.
School children. That's it. Yeah. Well,
now listen,
they'll go from fucking any angle, mate.
Yeah. Now listen, I'm not saying he got it from the police, and I know, of course he did. All right. But he's a registered police informant.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more closer can you be?
No.
Symbiotically.
Yeah.
All right. And then say, oh, they wouldn't have contacted me and wouldn't give me a no. Of course, they've been the first fucking thing they've done, you know?
He's going to say that though. He's got to say that, hasn't he? He's got to say that.
It's not. Listen, I mean, I know the far end of a fart about Milly Dowler, and I know exactly what happened, and I know exactly how the information was gleaned, and I know the workings of what happened after her, well, before and during and after her phone was tapped. It had nothing to do with Surrey Police.
Tomorrow, Saturday the 25th of June, would have been Milly's 23rd birthday. And as always, we will remember the happy, fun-loving and talented girl that she was, but who was never allowed to fulfil her potential. This is a gap in our lives that can never be filled. We would ask now to be left alone to try and put the pieces of our life back together and try and look to the future.
To actually see that man in court, a man capable of such a vile and inhuman crime, has been grotesque and distressing for us. The length the system goes to protect his human rights seems so unfair compared to what we as a family have had to endure. I hope, whilst he is in prison, he is treated with the same brutality he dealt out to his victims, and that his life is a living hell. For a mother to bury her child in any circumstances is truly agonising, but to bury your child when you know she died in such an appallingly awful way is terrible.
No comment. It's exactly what you said. No comment. Found that very interesting, and I'll tell you for why. You didn't deny it.
No comment.
You didn't say, it's not me.
When this all happened 9 years ago, I was 16. I had no other choice but to grow up. I feel I have missed out on some wonderful teenage years. I waved goodbye to the happy family we were, and I realised life would never be the same again. The scale seemed to be tipped so much towards the defendant rather than us, the family who have suffered an almighty loss. It feels like we are the criminals and our family has been on trial. She was the best sister anyone could ask for. She was a shoulder to cry on, a fashion guru, a person who could make you laugh even when you felt sad, and she would light up a room as soon as she entered. She really was a star.
Do you honestly believe that your actions over the 21st and the 22nd of March 2002 are the actions of an innocent man? No. Then are you an innocent man?
Serial killer Levi Belfield has today been given a whole life sentence for murdering 13-year-old Surrey schoolgirl Milly Dowler. This ends 9 years of uncertainty for Milly's parents, Bob and Sally, and her sister Gemma, and I want to pay tribute to them for their outstanding strength and courage. The judge has discharged the jury on the attempted kidnap of 11-year-old Rachel Cowles due to the inappropriate level of media reporting. We are enormously disappointed that the jury were not given the opportunity to reach their verdict on Rachel due to the media coverage in some quarters since yesterday afternoon. I would like to pay tribute to Rachel, who showed enormous strength and courage in facing Belfield in court.
Giving evidence in court brought back many memories, and I hope now I can put this ordeal behind me and move on with my life. I'm pleased that justice has been served for the Dowlers today, and that the verdicts will start to bring some closure to them. And lastly, I would like to thank my family and friends for all their hard love and support during this time and the last 9 years. Thank you.